Hello everyone, today I want to talk about the case of SRC International Scandal. To fully grasp the photo of SRC, we must look at its parent entity, One Development, Berhad of 1NTB. Established in 2009, 1NTB was a state-owned strategy development fund created to attract foreigners, direct investment, and promote national economic growth. In 2011, SRC International was incorporated as a wholly owned subsidiary of 1NTB. However, in 2012, ownership was abruptly transferred direct to the Minister of Finance intercorporate. This highly concentrated executive authority laid the groundwork and absolutely lack of oversight. Two distinct groups of actors drove this unrepresented finance direction. First, we have the incident abuse. At the center was Najib Razak, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, who held absolute administrative power of 1NTB advisory board and MOF. Alongside of Lo Johor, the strategy forgive mastermind, exclusive and orchestrating massive offshore network and Sibhon sovereign assets, as well as co-executive Shahan Aral and Jasmine Lu, who subsequently corrupted as a key state witness. Yes, internal power alone was insufficient. This frown heavily relied on global finance intermediary. Wall Street enabled from Goldman Sachs specific time limits and Roger Ng. Shorted high yield offshore bond will bypassing critical compliance alarm currently. A complex web of intermediary shell company across tech havens was deliberately designed to mask the actual trend and destination of these public funds. Following its inception and transfer between 2011 and 2012, the settlement of divestment took place between 2014 and 2015 when 42 million has transfers from SRC into Rajiv Razak private bank account. By 2018, following the history resumes change at the police, the wheels of justice begins to turn. Najib Razak was officially indicted with 7 strategic corruption, criminal bits of truth, and money laundering charges. Accountability was unlimited released between 2020 and 2022. The High Court considered Najib and his subsequent appeals were subsequently dismissed by both the Court of Appeal and the Federal Court, sending the former Prime Minister to prison. However, the narrative took another turn in 2024 when the President's Board reducing his sentence to 6 years and slashed his fine to 50 million, bring this landmark case back into the spotlight of legal and public debate. Now I will pass the part 2 to Mia. Thank you.
SRC International Scandal. Good day everyone. Today I'll share a brief analysis of Malaysia's landmark SRC International corruption scandal. This case stemmed from embezzlement of public funds, abuse of power, and broken governance and supervision systems. Public money meant for national development was diverted for private use, while weak oversight let illegal transactions go unnoticed for years. Key parties bear different responsibilities. 1. SRC International lacked strict internal financial controls. 2. Former PM Najib Razak was found guilty of power abuse and money laundering. 3. Zhou Lo used shell companies to launder stolen funds for luxury assets. 4. Goldman Sachs neglected anti-corruption compliance and ignored suspicious transaction warnings. 5. Local regulators failed to spot fund irregularities timely due to poor monitoring. The scandal brought severe consequences: massive loss of public funds, collapsed public trust in authorities, damaged international national reputation, weakened investor confidence, and sweeping political and legal reforms across Malaysia. In conclusion, this scandal proves weak supervision and unchecked power lead to catastrophic losses. We must strengthen fiscal transparency, accountability mechanisms, and law enforcement to curb corruption and restore public trust. Thank you.
Hi madam, now I'm going to present the critical discussion slide of the SRC International scandal. The SRC scandal occurred mainly because of weak corporate governments and poor financial oversight. There was a lack of transparency, weak internal controls, and too much decision-making power concentrated in a few individuals. This weakness creates opportunities for corruption and the misuse of public funds. There are three main contributing factors. First are individual factors, including the abuse of power, personal greed, and lack of ethical leadership. Second are organizational factors such as weak corporate governance, ineffective internal audit system, and poor accountability within the organization. Third are institutional factors where weak enforcement of anti-corruption laws and limited transparency allowed misconduct to continue without proper oversight. To prevent similar cases in the future, organizations should strengthen their internal controls, establish independent audit committees, and improve transparency and accountability. At the same time, government must strictly enforce anti-corruption laws, while leaders should demonstrate strong ethical values and integrity. In conclusion, the SRC International scandal shows that good governance, ethical leadership, and effective oversight are essential to protect public funds and maintain public trust. Thank you.
Preventive reforms. This slide explains the reforms that can help prevent similar corruption scandals from happening again in the future. First, enforce mandatory independent audits. First, all state investments should be audited by independent companies instead of people connected to the government. The audit report should also be sent directly to the parliament to ensure transparency and accountability. Second, the politicized board appointments. Board members of government-linked companies should be chosen based on their qualifications, not political connections. This helps ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of the public. Third, reinforce whistleblower protections. People who report corruption or fraud should be protected. Their identity should remain anonymous, and they should be protected from losing their jobs or facing retaliation. Fourth, decouple executive ministers. Another recommendation is to separate important government positions. For example, the Prime Minister should not also serve the Finance Minister. This reduces the concentration of power in one person. Empower legislative oversight. This Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MAC, or in other words MACC, should be made fully independent so it can investigate corruption without political influence. It should report directly to the parliament. This slide is about preventing corruption in the future. First, independent audits should be required so government spending is checked fairly. Second, board members should be selected based on their merit instead of politics. Third, whistleblowers should be protected when they report corruption. Fourth, the Prime Minister should not also be the Finance Minister because too much power should not be held in one person. Finally, the Anti-Corruption Commission should be fully independent and report directly to the Parliament. These reforms promote transparency, accountability, and good governance.
Hello everyone, today I will summarize the SRC International case and discuss why institutional ingredient. SRC International was formed in 2011 as a subsidiary of 1MDB and later moved under the Ministry of Finance. As its cause, the case is massive failures of internal control. It involves the misappropriation of public funds, abuse of power, and a total lack of supervision. Hung amount of public money meant for national development was sold for private use. Why did this happen? We can look at it from three simple angles. First, individual. The people in power was driven by greed that completely lacks ethical leadership. Second, organizational. Corrupt governance fails. The internal audit system was weak and there was zero transparency. Third, institutional. Anti-corruption law was not strictly enforced and power was too considerate at the top, leaving no room for proper oversight. The impact was devastating of Malaysia. It damaged our international reputation, scared away foreign investors, and hurt our economic development. But worst for all, it destroyed the public trust in government institutions. To make sure this never happen again, we must take action. We need to strengthen finance monitoring and use independent audit committees to balance power. We must also put the integrity education and ensure a clear separation between decision maker and supervision. Fighting corruption is not just a legend joke. It is a normal duty. As shown on the slide, we must restore public trust through transparency, active accountability, and strong ethical leadership. That's all. Thank you.